Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Craigellachie 19-year-old Exceptional Cask, 55.2% ABV. Dustin, this bad boy you picked up at Benny's in Chicago, Lakeview location, when we were going there raiding some whiskey when we were in Chicago recently.
Yep.
Had this bottle on sale. You said, Mike, you need to buy this bottle. And I said, no, you buy this bottle, so then I can still enjoy it. But I should have bought this bottle too, because this one's been a stunner.
Actually, the exact way it went is I said, Mike, check this out, grab one. And he's like, you just want me to buy it? I was like, I'm buying one. You should buy one too.
So we've had pretty good luck with these Exceptional Cask Craigellachie's lately. We've recently bought you guys the 23-year-old. I poured it poorly. We've recently brought you the 23-year-old, the 23-year-old Exceptional Cask, and I believe this will be the third one that we've been reviewed, this 19-year-old Exceptional Cask. So again, we got this at Benny's. Was distilled and put in a bottle in 99, and just bottled here last year, cask number 129, from a, what does it say here, wood type, just a single sherry, but so.
Yep.
Sherry Craigellachie.
I do recommend, guys, if you're going to go to Benny's, go with Mike. Make sure he's buying 3 or 4 bottles that cost excess of $500. You get personal shoppers. It's wonderful.
Yeah, you get let into secret rooms. It was really an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Plus, they said they could hook us up with some fine bourbons later in the year, so we're going to try to take them up on that and see where we go. But yeah, they really rolled out the red carpet for us when we went up there, so thank you to all the guys at Lakeview location. Jim, I believe, is the gentleman that we talked to. So Jim, if you happen to watch this, we really appreciate all your hospitality, man. Great city, Chicago. I grew up just outside of it until I was a small boy, so always good to go back. All right, so natural color, unchill filtered, Craigellachie, a lot of times using blends, Speyside whiskey, I believe. And kind of unique for using the warm tub condensing system in their whiskeys. Kind of gives it a unique sulfur note, but with no further babble, let's get into the nose.
Yeah, and right away, there's no question this is aged exclusively in sherry. It's got that sweet sherry, but it's definitely not a first fill butt. You're not getting that over-the-top dark Oloroso.
Not over-oaked.
There's an incredible vanilla sweetness, just overwhelming. This is incredibly sweet.
Man.
And if you don't like the sulfur notes that you get on some of the Exceptional casks, this is the one to buy.
There's almost no sulfur note to this whatsoever.
No, there's a slight funk kind of at the end of it that I'm struggling with the right words here to come up with. Mike, do you have any thoughts?
Well, we'll get into it, but it's kind of a doughy note to me at first. It almost reminds me of a Springbank dough left out too long. So
maybe like a sourdough or something?
But I tell you what, man, this one right here, from the first time I said it, it was shockingly sweet. Now, we've said whiskeys were sweet on the nose before, but this is candy shop sweetness.
Yeah.
This is liquid confectionery sweetness. Artificial almost.
There is an artificial note.
For sure. So, Craigellachie to me, it does normally have a sulfur note too, but that's intentional. And it's not a sulfur note like, say, like Macallan sometimes gets over sulfury from the cask or something like that. It's something intentional. It's a different sulfur than what you would normally think with a sherried whiskey. So I just want to make that clear up front. Normally sulfur is not something I appreciate in a whiskey, but for whatever reason, these Craigellachie's, it's delicious.
Yeah.
But even if you're kind of turned off by that, it's really turned down to about a 1 out of 10 on this particular one. And the sweetness on this is just, wow, instant.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
I mean, this is almost, I would say, if you're a Macallan 18,
it's far
you're a Balvenie 17 Double Wood, like you're a dessert whiskey drinker, and you want to take something that's 55% instead of 40-something, but you want big sherry, you want big sweetness.
A nice refinement and great casks.
Yeah.
Right here.
Absolutely.
It's got everything right here. This isn't a very well-known whiskey. I mean, it took me 200 whiskey reviews to even get to one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the 13's the only one I've ever seen in stores until recently.
And I wasn't impressed with it.
No, it's a very decent whiskey, kind of like the Cragganmore 12, the Dalvenie, the Dalvenie 15. They're all very nice, enjoyable scotches. And I always wanted peat or sherry when I was spending $60, $70. Nowadays it's probably closer to 100. Because at those price points, I was like, I just want something bigger. Or if I wanted refined and simple, I wanted Balvenie.
Sure. This one really didn't do the lower age statements particularly well, but as they got up higher, 1723, they really kind of raised the bar as far as what they're doing.
Yeah.
So again, the sweetness here, it is a very, very sticky, artificial sweetness. It wouldn't even shock me if, I believe this is an Oloroso cask, but it wouldn't even shock me if it said PX because there's almost a stickiness to the sweetness. Very rich, very rounded, very bold. What are you picking up on the palate?
I actually was starting to lean towards PX. I actually hadn't even thought about what kind of cask maturation this had until today. And I've had this, I mean, we've had it down here. And I mean, Mike is the only other person who's drank it with me. So, yeah, I am definitely I'm getting like chocolate nougat. I'm getting a lot of sherry. Up front, the sweetness is legitimately almost artificial. And not in a bad way, but just in, oh my goodness, how did you get a whiskey this sweet? And then you've got the oak tannins, which sometimes for me, Mike, I don't know about you, but oak tannins and like a
hit or miss
aspartame can kind of like have a similar finish to me.
Dude, this is a Milky Way.
Oh,
almost.
There's chocolate in this thing. There is chocolate.
Milky Way, caramel, nougat, chocolate. And then instantly, and that's on the palate, instantly when you swallow just that such rich, dense sweetness from the sherry cask. My goodness. This is just a candy shop of a whiskey.
On the finish, the oak comes back in. It's
Yes.
big, it's bold, it is strong. Oh my goodness. And the finish is almost overwhelming. Like, it's that sweet up front.
Yes.
The finish is that
Bang.
tannic,
Yes.
bitter, oak, chocolate.
Just a bomb on the finish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting dark chocolate now on the finish, like big time. Like,
Milk chocolate, dark chocolate.
it's just like a Milky Way, but it's a dark chocolate Milky Way. It's got the sweet nougat, or it's the milk chocolate. It's got the caramel.
I mean, you talked about, you heard like double oak. You ever heard of double chocolate? That's what this is. This is milk chocolate and dark chocolate on top of each other.
Oh yeah, and then again, you're still getting. I'm not getting a lot of the strong fruit notes from a sherry, like where you get the. People talk plums and dates and figs. I don't get a lot of that. Again, that's why I think PX. And I think we've talked about this a little bit, Mike. I am not a big PX fan let's say under 18 usually. There's exceptions. There's a few Glendronachs that killed it.
Yes.
But generally, I like my PX older. Oloroso can be younger.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Oloroso gets a better reputation because Macallan uses Oloroso. And it seems like some of the finer whiskeys will use Oloroso. But I got to tell you, as you said, with the Glendronach single casks, they do both Oloroso and PX casks, like one of the 20s. Yep. The PX cask ones are the best. I have a 13-year-old Glendronach single cask that's a PX over there. That's stunning for a 13-year-old. PX is an underrated, it's stunning. PX is an underrated type of wood as compared to Oloroso. I've had Oloroso whiskeys that were way better. I'm not saying it doesn't work for Macallan. I'm not saying it doesn't work for Glendronach and the 18-year-old.
Yeah.
But even with the Glendronach, let's say, even the standard offerings, I prefer the 21 over the 18 because I like the double maturation. I like a little that sticky PX in it.
Yeah, no. What I was trying to get to with the whole PX versus Oloroso is that PX to me comes off too sweet until the oak starts playing a role in the whiskey. And this one, the oak has come in. Big, it's bold on the finish, and that lets that super sweet front end get balanced. And that's the key, is you've created balance here in this whiskey while it's super strong, super powerful, and God, it's good.
It's good. It really doesn't do, I wouldn't say it's an overly complex whiskey. It's straightforward in its delivery.
Yep.
I mean, it's candied, confectionery sweetness, again with maybe a little bit of that nougat. It's a very, very dessert whiskey. And for this distillery, it went so dessert compared to the 23 Exceptional Cask and the standard 23. I was surprised. how good it was.
Yeah. I mean,
and we tried this the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, after we had Lagavulin 25.
Correct.
And we were still impressed with it.
And if you guys haven't had Lagavulin 25, we'll hopefully someday get it to you.
It's good whiskey.
It's a very sweet,
It's good whiskey.
super sweet whiskey. It's decent too. You might like it.
All right, so we had a few drops of water. Are you picking up anything else?
I'm getting a little bit more of that, I guess, wormwood kind of characteristic.
Yeah, it isn't quite sulfur on me, but there is a very doughy, not quite fully cooked pretzel.
I'm gonna say like a sourdough almost.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like GW Grinders. They make everything. You have those in Cincinnati? Grinders, their sub place. They make everything on sourdough. Anyway, they make a cordon bleu.
Okay.
On sourdough bread. Excellent. Yeah, but you're right. It's I was gonna say uncooked pretzel, but it's not that. It's sourdough pretzel.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of sourdough. And it started to even get into like a bit of like a putty or like some earthy, but it doesn't get there. It stays a little sweeter than that.
I don't know if it goes as far as say putty or earthy, but
I started to get there. I started to pick up some elements, and then it was just sweetness came in, and that kind of just clean dough.
Yeah, this feels very clean to me. It's very, again, I said straightforward, but it keeps true to what it's designed to do, which is give you a nice dessert whiskey, and that's absolutely the case with this. We're gonna as far as whiskey score. I'm at 92 out of 100. It's the best whiskey score of the day I'm giving.
You hit me right there when I was like actually teetering between 91 and 92, Mike. You may have pushed me to that 92.
Yeah, we've done some nice whiskey today. It's the best whiskey.
Up front, I'm right there at a 90, 91 on the sweetness. I love it. It's great. Nose is beautiful, just as good as that up front. But the finish on this one, Mike, is so good.
So good.
This is the best finish I think I've ever had on a sub 20-year-old whiskey. And that's bold. So we've had some great single casks. We've got some great Lagavulin special editions. I've had a great Lagavulin 18-year from 2013 earlier today, where the finish was exceptional. This is better.
This is an incredible whiskey for its age.
Yeah, I got to go 92 because the other thing I didn't even mention, mouthfeel.
Oh, texture.
This is beautiful. 55.2%. It is silky. It's clean. Alcohol never overbites. It's just everything you want in a high-end whiskey. And by the way, Mike, price? Remember?
What'd you get? $200?
$200. There's no better value. Unfortunately, there's only a handful of these casks, but this is value.
Oh yeah, this is one of the best. Okay, so again, we always try to tie whiskey score to a dollar amount. For a 92 out of 100, I'll pay $500 for that bottle.
Oh yeah, this is $500-$600 quality
Whiskey
all day
for $200.
All day.
So if you're at Benny's, save me one, please. But really, those guys are great guys, and this is excellent whiskey. If you guys can get your hands on it, I cannot recommend it highly enough. Yeah. Dustin, thank you for getting it, and thanks for letting us bring it to everybody. We're both of the same mind, 92 out of 100. That's a pretty solid score these days for us. Until next time, we want to thank you for once again joining for another whiskey review, and we'll see you in the comments section. Until then, Dustin.
Happy drinking.
See you next time.